right up in there and be like, is this
this.
on? Hello?
Oh, that's good. Is this thing on? Are we ready? I think so.
Your acting is so good, let me tell you. Were you part of that Disney pact of like Disney child actors?
Yes.
Hello? Is this thing working?
Yeah, he has a plantar, an irritation of his plantar fascia.
Okay, do you know which, what is it?
I don't think it's that.
Probably didn't say specifically.
Yeah.
Could you guess which foot probably?
Probably his plant foot.
Yeah, I would probably assume this is plant foot. So most people would probably assume his lead foot, but his lead foot is the one that's going to change him into a direction. It's the pivot foot or the plant foot that's most likely, which is the opposite leg. So let's just say that Amari's plant foot is actually his left foot, his lead foot is his right foot.
Okay.
So let's talk about what is plantar fasciitis, because there's lots of people out there that have plantar fasciitis. So what is it, Kayla?
So plantar fasciitis, basically you just have like a tendinous sheath on the bottom of your foot, just like you have fascia all around your body.
I feel like you should show them your foot. Like you should like take off one of your shoes.
Okay,
Let me just like get the winds going. Or maybe we might pull down a window.
Call my feet flippers because they're kind of big. Okay, so.
Okay, bring it up so that everybody can see.
Here's my
This
flippers.
is the foot. Where does the plantar fascia go?
The plantar fascia, it's basically covering the bottom of your foot, but it starts here at the calcaneus, extending this way, and it's basically just like a thick fascia.
Yes,
So,
it is.
plantar fasciitis is just an inflammation of that tissue.
Let's go even deeper. What is fascia?
Fascia is like a wrapping paper that wraps all of your insides.
Yeah, I mean, yes.
Your musculoskeletal system.
I would use a better analogy. You know, it's like sausage casing,
Yes.
right? The sausage has meat in the middle of it. The clear casing is like the fascia around your muscles. Without that clear casing around your muscles would just be like everywhere. Fascia could also basically hold your guts into your stomach. It's just like, it's what keeps us like nice and tight. It's basically, what is that women's Spanx? It's basically Spanx for your muscles.
Yeah. Spanx. Yeah.
Making your muscles look good, contouring it. Okay,
Yes.
so it sounds like Amari Cooper has an irritation of the plantar fascia. He didn't say he had plantar fasciitis. Where did we even get this information? We got it from the internet.
Yeah, it's from Dr. Google.
Okay, Dr. Google told us that Amari has probably. Do you think that it was going to keep him out of the game?
No.
No. It's an irritation. They're also professional athletes, so at some level, like most professional athletes are playing. Actually, 100% of professional athletes are playing with some type of injury. And then with an itis, it's just basically an inflammation of the. He just sees it as an irritation, so it sounds like it's not that big of a deal. But oftentimes, plantar fasciitis, it happens because most of the time, this is not always true, but I would say 90% of the time, it's because it's due to poor dorsiflexion. And exactly what is dorsiflexion? Can you also show them?
Show them? Okay,
Yeah, but
you
don't have to take. Yeah, you don't have to take your shoe off.
Okay,
You just show them.
Dorsiflexion is
Yes.
plantar.
Yes, plantar flexion is what? This way, away from your body. Dorsiflexion is towards your body. Yeah. And so, because he is a wide receiver, he's first of all, having to push off the line, so he has to create a lot of acceleration. Second, he is having to pivot. So if you have to pivot, you have to have good dorsiflexion, because you're not going to pivot on a fucking straight leg. You're going to pivot on a probably triple flexion, which is dorsiflexion in the ankle, flexion in the knee, flexion in the hip, right? Have you ever seen anybody pivot in the history of any sport like a complete cardboard? No, the only cardboard I've ever seen is Kayla trying to do that introduction. so bad.
Hey.
But so if he doesn't have good dorsiflexion in his ankle, what's going to happen? Well, the force has got to go somewhere, right? And that force is going to go straight into that plantar fascia. Another reason why you would have irritation of the plantar fascia is if your big toe or your toes in general aren't able to go also into extension. So why don't you show them, the people out there, what flexion and extension of the toes are, but with your fingers.
Okay, so
if your fingers were toes, yes.
Yeah, so
and this was your big toe.
Big toe. So flexion is this. Extension would be it coming back this way.
So you can imagine what it looks like. Can you show them, give them an example of what it would look like to push off of the ground?
Yeah, so pushing off the ground, these are going to bend up like this,
Yes.
as well as the big toe here. And
Yeah.
when you're, so that's the push off, and then you're going.
Right, and you need to do that flexion.
Yeah.
However, if you're stuck in flexion, what's going to happen?
And it can't move back this way. Ow.
So if that joint, if your toe joints aren't able to go into extension, where do you think that force is going to go? Right into your plantar fascia. So, you know, without really, and again, this is all conjecture because we just got it off of the internet, so I don't really know what the fuck is actually going on with Amari Cooper. I've never actually done an assessment on Amari. I would love to at some point in time. I could make you a better player, bro. It's probably, most of the time when we see them in the clinic, it's mostly because you have poor toe extension, and poor ankle dorsiflexion. So that sums up our plantar fasciitis or plantar issue. If you have any questions, where can they reach us, Kayla?
At the sports pod.
You can DM us.
Oh, yeah. DM us, call us, text us.
All of the fun things. All of the fun things.